Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody. Happy Friday. Good morning. Good morning. So yesterday overall, definitely a beautiful day in the market. It would appear that most of the stocks that we discussed, for the most part, did what they were supposed to do. Well, not necessarily what they were supposed to do, but at least they did what we thought they could do. And that's always a good day. Because whenever stocks do what you say, what you think, or what you believe on the day, then that lets you know that your analysis and your approach in the market is working, right? And it is making sense. So today, for sure, we're going to be taking a look. There's a bunch of stuff. I've been busy all morning, so I can't say that I'm super prepared for today. But we're definitely going to be taking a look at AMC. Of course, that had a good bullish day. As we mentioned yesterday, we recommended being more bullish the stock, at least to start the day. Did throw us for a little bit of a curveball, but towards the end of the day, the analysis that we gave in the morning pre-market ended up happening almost to a T. Opinion on Salzburg? I don't know. I have no idea even what that is. So, to be truthfully honest with you. So again, today I'm just marking some things down. AMC is for one. We have to review the stock SPCE. We don't have to trade it. We don't have to do anything with it. We just at least have to review it. And the reason we're going to review SPCE is because that's the stock that yesterday at 11 a.m., right about the end of the stream, we went through and did that whole options thing, showing how to calculate the move. So I wanted to go back, look at SPCE, and review what ended up happening after we went through that analysis, okay? Jay, tell him, what the hell is that? It sounded like you're trying to tell me, Salisbury, steak sauce or, something like that. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. But skills is what you're referring to. So, yeah, I'll write skills down here. But, yes, we definitely have to take a look at SPCE. I don't know if you that are watching right now were around yesterday at 11 o'clock, but we went through and did, a little mini class on how you can figure out how much a stock should move for their earnings report. So what we're going to do now is just go back and review SPCE in a little bit to just kind of double check on how that all came up and what ended up happening. We are going to take a look at the NASDAQ. That's pretty much how we're going to start our days every day, is first reviewing the major indexes. In the future, I got to take a second and actually kind of sit down and get my Webull account in a format that I like, but we're also going to be using Webull here in the future a little bit too. So let's just start there. Again, I don't have, my morning isn't too crazy. I don't have a ton of stuff on my list to do. It's Friday, probably going to be a laid back day. So first thing we're going to look at is AMC. We can also touch on AMD as well. So from yesterday, figures AMC's going down. So again, from yesterday, the recommendation for yesterday's pretty much trading session was that you wanted to be long up to about that price, and then if in the event it broke through that price later in the day, you then wanted to be long up to this top. So those were the two price targets that we mentioned yesterday. Were those two red lines? So this guy and that guy. Those were the desired long targets on the day. So first we go up, we smack the resistance, come back down, then it does an extremely bullish reversal into a U shape. So I was actually bearish shorting this move down earlier in the day, and then as it came back up, covered, did a small long up here. But anyways, so AMC has made a phenomenal move. I don't think we're going to be seeing AMC run too much more here. I could be wrong though. So the reason being, and really, we'll see. All right, so this is the 4-hour chart. You'll see when we look at the 4-hour chart, we have bounced back up to this half deviation price. So the current support of the market today is that red line. The line that I just put on my chart, that's the current support of the market. When we go look at the 1-minute chart, you will see that we just sold off and the market is coming back down towards that red line. So this is the price point at $33.94 today. That's the price that the market has to stay above on AMC in the immediate to force continued long moves in the immediate. If you start to sell down below $33.94, not that AMC can't go higher after it does that, but it's going to have to take a lot more work to get the stock back up to continue running. So if we're looking for immediate profit, instant gratification within the market structure on AMC, it shouldn't be falling below $34.94 pre-market today. Now, when we switch the time frame to a daily chart, you will see that the daily chart regression and mean statistical average is basically where we're at right now. So we do have an upside target that we might get to today, which is $34.99. But nonetheless, I was assuming that this was going to end up being the resistance for today on AMC, and we weren't supposed to break it. So I'm staying on the bear side of this one today, anticipating we're not supposed to break this zone. Now, in the event we do, it's a long play. It's pretty straightforward. If we successfully break there, it should be a long. But for now, I just don't feel comfortable trying to be long through this box area today, at least yet. And part of the reason why is because everything that AMC is doing is everything that I thought it was going to do yesterday or had the potential to do yesterday. And the analysis for me was you're not really supposed to be extremely long bias AMC until the price got down to $24.82 or until the price successfully got up through this dotted line. And more or less, now that I'm doing my analysis again, AMC is, to me, not a long trade until you really get up and through now $35 and sustain over $35. So I'm going to stick to that analysis. It's been the same for the past couple days. Not really long bias AMC here. Back to being bearish because we retraced all the way back to the statistical mean. So again, back to being bearish on AMC after we bounced yesterday. And that's really just it. I think your resistance is right at about $35 today on AMC. Okay. But earnings is on Monday. Is that going to line up AMC or anything? So the longer you follow my channel, the more you will realize that probably, when it comes to earnings reports, I never try to guess or make an assumption as to what the stock's going to do and then place a bet or a trade or investment around that. That's just not what I do. But if you want my opinion, which opinions are cheap because everyone has one, but mine might be at least worth 5 cents as opposed to a penny because I know a little bit more. So my assumption, in my opinion, that is still pretty cheap would be that if we were to consider how popular AMC was, let's say 15 years ago. Well, the better way of explaining it would be like this. This is a 20-year chart on AMC. The price is currently at 34. Back in that's a weekly chart. Yeah, so all the way back, let's just say in 2014, 2015. Hell, you could even go back to 2008, whatever. I can almost guarantee that AMC Theaters was making more money 10 years ago than they are today. So if AMC was more popular in terms of customer basis and people coming in and doing whatever, if they're more popular 10 years ago or 15 years ago, they were probably, or even 8 years ago, they were probably making more money then. So when you look at where the share price is currently as opposed to where it was in the past, and you know that AMC was making more money in the past than they are today, then it easily becomes unjustifiable to own that stock or have any sort of faith that the earnings are going to be astronomically great. Not that the earnings can't make the stock go positive, but there's just no way you can convince me that today's earnings are any better than what it was 10 years ago and that I should be buying the price of the stock at an all-time high over the past 20 years when the earnings today still aren't as good as 8 years ago. And the reason I know that is because there's just movie theaters are just not as popular as they used to be. So that being said, everything that has to do with AMC and GameStop is more or less just a battle between, really, like we know, retail traders and, if you want to call them, the hedgies. And that's it. You're basically just playing a game of big dick. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's just a game of big dick and who can swing harder at this point. Because all it is just, well, not even really. We'll see. By all said and done, the news will come out of what this really was. But if you want to say it's the retail versus the hedges, basically you got retail swinging their little wiener around, and you got the hedge fund swinging their little wiener around. And the objective is to basically just knock someone else's wiener out of the game. The shorts either get squeezed or the retail traders end up dumping their stock and they crash it. So it's really just it's like a football game. And really, that's all it is. And you got one person on this side and one person on this side, and they're just battling. That's really all it comes down to, in my opinion, on AMC. All right. Alrighty. Next one on the list, we'll take a look at skills, just because it was one of the first stocks mentioned here in, well, not necessarily, but one of the stocks mentioned here in chat. It's been a while since I've looked at skills. I really have no idea what my analysis was on it like the last time we talked about it. I know I said bearish at some point, but I feel like the last time we were really touching on skills was like maybe here or like here. I really don't remember. But anyways, I would probably not be extremely bullish, anticipating a gigantic move. It is a downtrending stock. It fell below -1 deviation, which is kind of not a good thing. So this is definitely weak right now. Yeah. There's really nothing here that I can do that makes me really care about trading or buying this. I would say with skills, before you can really even consider that the momentum has shifted and this stock is actually reversing, you'd have to get back over the -1 deviation mark, which is 15. In the future, that could be 15.50. It could be 16. It could be 14.50, depending on how the stock trades going forward. But I would say the bulls really have zero control of the skills market until they at least reverse the price of this market back above $15. And that's probably what I'll say there. I could say like, oh, it's going to take a half deviation, but it's like the move would be so small, it's not even really worth it. So I would say you just wait for skills to take back control of a $15 price minimum right now. Let's see. Sorry, just kind of going up through the comments again. All right, before we get too carried away and I start, ranting about something, 1 second. I gotta look at this. Subpar. All right, we're gonna pop on over to the NASDAQ and the SPY. And again, really this analysis isn't gonna change all that much from day to day until we get a big swing in the market for the most part. I really don't know what my analysis was yesterday. Oh, the analysis was long yesterday on the market, but it wasn't as long as the market went. I think we only suggested to watch the NASDAQ. Well, I could probably figure it out. 1 second. So, well, that's there, so that can't have been it. Or was it the SPY? Could have been the SPY. I think it was the SPY then. Yeah. Okay, so yesterday we had mentioned to be long the market. Yes, so these two red lines, this zone, this is what I thought was going to be the resistance for the day, and the market wasn't going to break above that. Well, you can see just by the end of the day, the market broke it and went on a run. So this red zone is what I identified as your long move for yesterday on the SPY. When we started pre-market, we were down here, and I said you should watch the market on the S&P 500 long to this line. And then, of course, getting through this one, you should watch up to the second one. Then I suggested you shouldn't really be long above the second one, only because I didn't suggest that there was going to be a breakout from this resistance in yesterday's trading session. Well, I was wrong, and it went higher. So we are right about 50% of the way. So the market is up. The market is still bullish. I mean, yeah, it actually kind of looks like it has a flag pattern and it's trying to break out here, but I'm just going to not buy that or be on the fence that it's going to work. So again, for me, market is pretty much stable. If you look at this 1 year chart, this is a 1 year, 1 day chart. You will see that right now the market does not really break very high above the 1 year statistical average or mean, right? So we really only go just a few paces above the statistical mean. You'll see that we're sitting on the mean right now. So if we're talking about a breakout, I really couldn't suggest that the breakout would go any higher than this trend there. And that's just based off a previous price action, right? In a typical scenario, or like when we're looking at AMD or Facebook or a typical stock, I would suggest the breakout would probably lead us up to the +1 mark. But if we look at the last year of the market on the S&P 500, it's really failed to even get to a positive 0.5 deviation in the market. So this is a situation where even if the S&P 500, SPY, whatever you want to call it, even if it were to break out of this little top flag setup, I don't think you would see it any higher than the price of like 450 for right now, which is about $9 away, which wouldn't even happen today. Can't, won't. So really, you can't be anything long in this structure on the market more than 450. So again, I wouldn't even be buying this market. You know, if you're like, oh, I'm going to do an option trade or I'm going to buy the SPY because it's not even worth it. You're really just on trend. You're not on sale. There's really nothing about the way that this market is set up that should cause you to make a gigantic profit right away. I don't see. So basically for me going forward, just neutral to market, neutral to SPY. The only time we're probably going to be doing anything with a SPY, the NASDAQ, is when they go through a corrective move next. That's really the only time we ever try to take action on the market, is either when they're crashing and then we have a small short play and then we look to buy the dip and then run the market back up. And then after the market gets back to the statistical mean, that's when we're pretty much just ponying along, okay? And that's typically what the market will do. The markets will go through a sell-off, right? They will go through a sell-off, they will bounce back to the statistical mean, and then they'll just ride the mean typically. They might go slightly over the mean, and when they go slightly over the mean, that's usually after a big correction. So you'll see here, drop, bounce, drop, drop, pretty big pullbacks, all relatively close by. Then it eventually gets through that previous resistance and breaks above the mean, reverts back to the mean, below, back to, trade on, down, back up, to, down, back up, to. So again, if you follow this pattern, it's right, down to, back down, up to, down, back to, down, back to. What's coming next? Down or up? Up, max 450. Down, probably back, I don't know, 429, whatever. So we're just kind of neutral on the market on the SPY for right now. So this is a good question that I don't honestly know the answer to 100%, but how common is stop loss hunting specifically in day trading? Well, I wouldn't really say it's specifically in day trading. I would say that a day trader would get stopped out more frequently than a swing trader and obviously a long-term investor. So obviously, the whole stop loss, market makers hunting stop loss is always going to be grouped and categorized with day trading because day traders are the ones that would experience losses the most frequently. So that's why it would be categorized with day trading. But stop loss hunting wouldn't, from a market maker's perspective, it wouldn't be directed at a day trader. It would just be directed at anybody who is invested in the market because the market maker really doesn't care if you're a long-term investor, swing trader, or day trader, right? He doesn't really care who you are. His only job is to make the market. Making the market means providing orders, filling orders, buying positions, selling positions at the current market price within the spread. So, and that's their job, by the way, right? That is literally their job description. And if they don't do that, well, guess what? They're probably going to get fined, fired, and whatever else comes with. So, the job of a market maker is to fill your orders. Like, that's their main purpose in the market. And so, when you put out a stop loss order, to the market maker, that's just an investor within the current market that wants to sell his position. He doesn't care or know whether or not you've made money or lost money. Your stop loss to him is not you losing money. That's you telling him, hey, I want to sell my order. Can you fill it? And since his job description is literally to fill orders as best as possible within the market to keep all customers happy in a liquid, fluent trading environment, he's going to do his... Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth. That's gross. He's going to do his hardest to make sure that he does his job effectively at filling orders. So when people are like, oh, I got taken out again. Oh, my stop loss was hit. Like literally when you put a stop loss in, that's you like sitting in class, raising your hand and going, hey, look at me. This guy over here, yeah, I want to sell my position. And the market maker goes, oh, this guy wants to sell his position. Okay, well, we might be able to move the market here a little bit by 5 cents, and we'll give that gentleman his fill because that's what he's asking us to do. And that's it. So in regards to stop loss hunting and how common is stop loss hunting, especially a day trade, it's not that stop loss hunting is common, it's just a common occurrence for 2 reasons. Market makers' jobs to fill orders. When you put a stop loss order out, that's you raising your hand to say, hey, I want to sell my shares. And again, it's the market maker's job to do its best to fill that position or execute that order. And then secondly, day traders are more prone to taking losses and having closer stops, which means they'd be more frequently to getting stopped out. So it's really just the way that whole thing comes together. It makes it feel like market makers are always hunting your stop losses, when in reality, a lot of time it's you keeping a stop loss too closely, and so on and so forth. And also, for the 268 for you guys here, just make sure you tickle that like button. That's really all I'm asking here, folks. Appreciate that. Good morning from DC. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, so before we go any further, what I want to do before I forget is I want to review SPCE. There's a good amount of you on here. I'm assuming that the amount of people on here is probably a decent amount from yesterday that would have been online at the time we did this. So, if you weren't online yesterday, there's 4 green lines, or four green arrows, and then 2 red lines. Those green arrows were just used to point towards the red lines. So I was really just using the green arrows as a reference to point to the red lines, which was referencing how much SPCE was supposed to move on its earnings. Okay, so let's go look at the 1-minute chart here. So yesterday at about 11 o'clock, which again, we did it at 11. If we would have done it at market close, we might have been even more accurate. So at 11 o'clock, we had predicted that SPCE earnings were either going to go, and I'm going to use a green arrow again, down to this red line, or they were going to go up, or it was going to go up to this red line. You will see that it went to the red line on the top and actually went through by about 20 cents, and then it came back down, okay? So again, 11 o'clock, we put these 2 red lines on the chart to as a reference point to where SPCE would move for its earnings report. I think the projected move was like $2 and something. So this is really just a recap and a review to show you exactly what happened with SPCE. So again, our analysis from 11 o'clock ended up playing out all the way to 4:30 p.m., right? And that was simply just by going to the option chains, adding up put and calls at the money, and getting the implied move for the market. And then yesterday, we also mentioned to you that just because an implied move within the market is X amount of dollars does not mean that it has to stay at that dollar value, right? So you can see we squeezed all the way up to 345 and then we sold all the way back down. So does that mean that SPCE didn't do its implied move? No, it did. It did do its implied move. It moved from the price of 31.50 all the way to 35.50, right? So it moved, but then it just decided to pull back. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is also the way that the market makers just ream your ass on options in theta. So for noob option traders or anybody who's going for a YOLO play or something like that, they're going to buy these options that expire really soon. and they're going to look at the implied volatile move for the market and go, oh, it's supposed to move $3. So I'm going to buy a call that's $3 out of the money, and then when this jumps $3 on earnings, it's going to be in the money, and I'm going to make a ton of money. Well, most oftentimes, the implied move will happen, and then the market will bring it back down to the point where your option makes no money by the next day, and it pretty much is worthless. And so that happens a lot of time where the market does the implied move, but then the market rebalances itself back down to the mean, which really provides you with a minimal gain overnight, and then the theta destroys your option contract. So that's another common thing that you will see that happens with earnings announcements. And then the more used to you get at understanding the implied move and like playing around with it, the more often you're going to see a move like this where it goes up and then it fades back out, and then you realize everybody who bought options the day before is just going to get smoked on this. So anyways, that being said, SPCE, we're not going to really, I don't think I'm going to do anything with this today, but it was more or less just to show you guys what happened there. See, and like that's another, and so maybe, and I don't know if MCM, if you're talking about SPCE here, but, and that's the other thing, like if you straddled the price, right? So whether it goes up or down, you make money. Well, you still lost. That's another very common option play around earnings is a straddle, right? So you basically, it doesn't matter which way it goes, as long as it goes big in one direction, you'll make money. Well, the market makers know that too, and that's why a lot of times they'll blow it up and then they just bring it back to basically even, so that by the next day, whether you were long a call, long a put, or you straddled, you just get destroyed. So anyways, DOCU analysis, I will put that on my handy dandy notebook here. I do believe DOCU is near an all-time high. Maybe it went into a fresh new all-time high. I'm not too positive on that. Wow, there's a lot of comments here today. I'm trying my best. You clearly explain the event and show you understand the situation. You still insist on convincing people to sell AMC because it's a trash investment. Dave, I believe me and you don't see eye to eye completely. I wouldn't entirely suggest I'm trying to convince people to sell AMC by any means. Yeah, not quite sure what you mean there. I mean, I would think wholeheartedly, my honest opinion with AMC and what I'm doing is really just trying to make sure that every day anybody looking at AMC has the best understanding of what's most likely going to happen to that stock. And really that's my main objective. And then also to inform you of just how shitty of an investment it actually is, so that you're completely understanding of what can arise, right? So my objective is to give you information so you can best use it. I don't want you to sell it. I want AMC to go to $1,000. I want it to go to $1,000 because if it does, there'll be tons of money to make on the upside, and then there'll be tons of money to make on the downside. So I'm just not willing to be one of the people sitting and holding the stock with what I know. So that's about it. But I do appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you keep tuning in. I'm sure you'll learn quite a bit. BTBT. You know what? I do want to take a peek at that really quickly because I know we talked about it yesterday. So I think the max target we ended up giving yesterday on BTBT was like 15. It ended up going up all to 16. So we've been pretty accurate on this for the most part, and it's still holding well. I mean, this thing is still pumping really good. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we pretty much just, well, there is a half deviation here, so we do got to pay attention to that. But yeah, I mean, you said 19, I'll give it to you. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're probably just aiming towards 19 at this point. I can see 19 being a good short play for right now. So in the event this somehow pushes all the way to 19. Oh, wait, can't short it. That's right. It's hard to borrow and all that dumb shit. Yeah, no, won't be shorting that, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think you still watch this long bias overall. How do you know what scanner stocks to choose? Really, you don't know anything until you start to learn something, and then when you learn something, you'll figure out you like one thing, and then you'll learn to scan for that thing. So basically, you have to figure out what it is you actually want to be doing, looking for, trying to do before you could even consider the idea of building a scanner to scan for something. But in a nutshell, pretty much everybody is always scanning for the same thing, which is to find a stock that has momentum, that's probably going to move, create big value on the day, and hopefully make money. My recommendation for you is to just go over to this YouTube channel. This is Trading Clips. This is a YouTube channel that scans trade idea scanners and Benzinga scanners every single day throughout the whole day. These are completely free to use. They're delayed by a few seconds because of YouTube, but you can't really do much about that. But that is a way to save you hundreds of dollars while giving you pretty much stocks that find most stocks throughout the day. Not all, but most. So that's what I'd recommend. You start doing is just using that service. But aside from that, you're really usually scanning for stocks that are triggering momentum, which would take me down a rabbit hole we don't have the time for. But quickly, I would just say go to Trading Clips YouTube channel. Do I think the jobs report will move the market? Yep, jobs report always moves markets. Pretty much anything that's announced from the Fed, interest rates, CPI, inflation numbers, unemployment, any of that always moves the market. Yes. Rania, when a stock goes to -1 deviation, that means that yes, it has sold off, and so that's it. There's a reason it's selling off, and you have to be able to justify whether the reason is going to continue to keep taking the stock down or not. But in a nutshell, yes, whenever a stock is trading down near -1 deviation, that means it is currently 1 deviation off of its typical standard deviation. What it typically would do is go here, it's down here. So yes, it's seen as a low risk entry and buy point. Most often cases, if a stock is trading down near -1 deviations, I'm going to look to be long bias as opposed to bearish. The only time I would look to be bearish if there's a reason that the market is convincing me it should continue to trend below -1 deviation. Ooga booga. Ooga booga. Isn't that from a video game? Isn't that from Crash Bandicoot? Ooga booga. I'm pretty sure. DKNG breaking through major resistance. Yeah, we can take a little peek ski at that guy. I remember we were talking about it yesterday, but didn't really do a whole lot with it. I have to remember at 9 o'clock, I got a goddamn meeting. Do I use standard deviation in shorter time frames? Sometimes, but primarily no. Because when you keep changing time frames and time frames and time frames and time frames, the standard deviation is always going to change. So before you know, you have multiple different time frames of multiple different standard deviations, and then you're really going to start confusing yourself. So for me, it's more or less I just basically go off the long. I literally just use the long-term charts. Like if you literally ask me what my analysis is, it would tell you I just use the 180-day and the 1-year day, find my levels there, and then just trade off of those intraday. That's pretty much it. Yep, still bullish pins. Never try to get rich on Friday. Okay, that could be good news. Roku, please. I'll put down Mick Roku. I'm still kind of going through this morning and still trying to figure out what I'm going to be interested in actually trading into. Hasn't been a lot of great momentum this morning, it kind of seems. Penny stocks have slowed down over the past really the past week or so for a little bit. I am always buying your stop loss. Daily data. Well, the good news is there's someone buying your stop loss too. Think about that. Nope, did not trade SPCE after hours. Nope. Algos are speeding up the market, making it easier to get ripsawed. I mean, I guess I would love to see some info to back that. Because I myself have no idea how an algorithm would actually make the market whipsaw faster. Unless it would be like suggesting that they're just buying so much stock that it's causing the volatility to increase. Because at that point, then it's really just volatility within the market that's causing the whipsaw. So, I don't know, it's interesting to think about. AHPI, sure. So Zach, yeah, I wasn't planning on it, but again, we haven't yet really booked up on coaching sessions, which it makes sense because it's fairly new. But when we do, then Fridays might be the day I take off, or I might at least just stream very early in the morning and then coach a little bit later in the day. So really haven't fully figured out that schedule, but you'll definitely know. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate you, man. All right, fine. AMC can only squeeze just a tizzy. If you were here yesterday, we told you AMC could squeeze. I just can't tell you unless it fits in the analysis, which today for me, AMC does not fit the narrative of a squeeze. Yesterday it did. That's why we said watch long yesterday. And there was also a bearish short to be played. But still, today it's harder to get it to squeeze. Not that it can't, it can, but it's just harder. Yesterday was an easy one. Today's going to be a little harder. Yeah, I am going to post the link to the scanner with DAS News right there. Give me about 5 seconds here. Okay. So yeah, just posted a link to that channel right there in the bottom. NEM, you're also from Zip Trader. Well, good to have you on. Charlie's a fun guy. I watch his videos from time to time. Ooga booga. So yeah, again, Dave, I totally get that, 100%, right? But this is where I think, this is where a lot of, we'll see. So you say, it just feels bearish bias daily analysis impacts the upside potential, right? So, I don't disagree with that, right? If I come out and say AMC, is bearish, obviously it's not helping the cause for it going up. But at the same time, right, we mentioned you were supposed to be long AMC on that day, back to bearish. Long AMC down here, back to bearish. Bearish. And then we did suggest long here or long back up to that price yesterday. So nearly every day, we're really just telling you ideally what the market's already trying to do, right? We're not changing what the market's already trying to do. We're just trying to get you in line with what the market's most likely going to do, right? So we want it to squeeze, we do, but it's currently, the market doesn't have that structure. So it's hard for me to go, yeah, we're gonna squeeze, right? We gotta wait it out a little bit. So again, this morning's analysis, not that we don't want it to go up, but we're just more of in a bearish location that you're probably going to see people try to sell down, hence why you're seeing AMC rolling over pre-market. Okay? So we want this puppy to squeeze. We do. We just need people like Matt Kors and Trade Trades to keep streaming, keep pumping. MB, actually, if you look, there is a video about that specific over those scanners. So I will try to find this YouTube video for my channel really quickly. I'll post a link, but it was a video that basically showed you how to use those scanners or what you were looking for on that screen. Where to go? Where are you? Wow. Oh, that was quite a bit away. Ironically, it's a free video that provides free scanners. So like if anybody in the entire stock market world on YouTube searches a video like how to scan for stocks, what stock scanners, I mean, this video literally provides them with a bunch of free scanners. I just don't know how it hasn't picked up. But anyways, I just posted a link there down at the bottom of the chat that will take you to a video that describes how to use those scanners and what you're looking for. All right, so really quickly, I'm going to run through DOCU, DKNG, ROKU, AHPI. Okay, so give me about a split second, Magoo. But before I do that, I should do this. I'm going to link that puppy like that. You're not going to see me moving around with the chart because it just takes too long when I do it over there. So I'm going to do everything for my screen on this side, and then we'll just go back over it on that one. Why you gotta be stupid, Thinkorswim? Why you gotta be stupid, huh? So it does look like pre-market we already tested support and bounced for DKNG. It doesn't appear like we have any standard deviation resistance we're gonna run into. It's just a matter of getting through our previous price action levels. So did I say DKNG? I meant to say DOCU. So if I said DKNG, I apologize. All right, so DOCU. Oh, pre-market, it hasn't done anything. I apologize. That was yesterday's trading session for DOCU. Yeah, so yesterday, the support of DOCU was these two white dotted lines. So you can see we bounced it, ran up. When you look at the long-term chart, your next resistance points are right here, all the way at 319 to 314. So on the long side, that would be like my next long target up. I would only really be concerned that the market's going to kind of roll over and sell downwards once it gets back down and below this zone. So if you're long DOCU, you want to be long bias. I think it's okay. It's fine. The only time you should really start to concern yourself is if the market starts to come back down and start closing below 299.95, because if that happens, then in the immediate, you're not obviously going long, and you'd either be pulling back down further, or you'd have to wait for more of a head and shoulders formation. So if we look at the way the market's currently situated, you go up, you kind of have what looks like a flag pattern, right? Which it kind of is, right? So you have like a flag pattern here. That just broke up, right? So that broke out. But if we kind of delete that flag pattern, you will also see that there is an inverse head and shoulders forming. Okay. So you could very well be doing like an inverse head and shoulders flag pattern, which if that's the case, we should stop at the price action here at whatever that is, 308.70. And then it would pull back down, like I said, to the green box. And if you start to close below that green box and you can't break back above, then the inverse head and shoulders would be failing, and then you get a breakdown. If you do the inverse head and shoulders and you're able to sustain in the green box and come back up, then you would probably be more likely to break out, and the targets would be up into like 317 to 315. So all I just put on the chart, that's how I'd probably be watching DOCU for right now. Am I crazy about it? Not really. But it still looks pretty good. Also, I will say this. That's a bullish dip buy, right? We just kind of pull back in 2 big days, right? So still pretty bullish overall there, I think. All right, next one on the list, DKNG. Give me just a quick second here. 847, okay. I think you should be long bias DKNG still. I think I really haven't seen what it did. I think it went up. It did go up, right? Also, the last time, just at FYI, so this is to help kind of, so like when when I'm like, oh, I like this, so I'm like, meh, it's okay, right? This will kind of help you understand that. So today, I still think you can be long DKNG. I still think you can be long DKNG, but just know that the last time we recommended that you should be long DKNG was there, that box. That's where we suggested you were supposed to buy DKNG last. So which I didn't, but I know a couple people did. So I gotta say, if you bought DKNG down here, okay, you wake up this morning and it's up here, do you think you'd be considering it's time to sell? Also, go back to the daily chart. Okay. Hold on. I have to do this really quickly. So, I don't know if we've passed this yet, but there should be a resistance right at about 56.86 today. 56.86 is going to be your upside target for DKNG, and that will be your first resistance point of the day. So I will recommend DKNG is a long. Well, I didn't see that. Hold on. There's another thing we got to pay attention to. So yes, the long zone that I would try to get the market into today on DKNG is from. There's always so many prices and so many levels. I try to do my best. Okay. So the long zone I would be trying to get DKNG into today is right here. 55.50-ish to 56.90. To me, that seems like a really logical price to try to get the market to. Anything higher than that for now makes no sense to me. So if that were to happen, it would be very lucky. Just pretty much put it this way. Anything above this blue trend line on my chart, that's a euphoric market. It's overbought. People are prowling railing lines of blow in their office, and they're just ripping the stock up without any relation to how overbought it is. So if you get up to there, you're a little overbought, kids. So again, I think logically you could look for DKNG as a long mover all the way into the zone of 55.40s, 55.50s up to 56.80. Okay? I will give you the further analysis so that if I'm wrong, I'm still right. Because every stock market furu McGuru has to give you option A and option B, so they always look like they're telling you the right thing. So this is sort of the cherry on top. So in the event I'm wrong and it does not stop in this zone today, you should then target up to a price of 58.80. Now, in order to get to 58.80 today, you would have to break out that resistance zone I told you, but also you would have to get above the previous high back from June. Okay? You'd have to get over this previous high. For that to get through that previous high today successfully and continue running, that would mean DKNG has to break out resistance on its first attempt. Well, it's kind of second, but we'll just call it first. So it's been a long time since the stock has tested that price. To break through immediately, as soon as it gets there, for the first time, it's very unlikely. Why? I don't know. I didn't make this shit up. It just happens that way. Okay? So again, my long target DKNG is 54.50, 56-ish or whatever. That's my long target. My absolute max target for now is basically 59. 59 means we got extremely, extremely lucky. Some kid whose dad's a billionaire ended up sneaking his bank account, depositing a couple billion into his Robinhood account, and YOLOing it up to 59 today. That's the only way that gets said. Okay, so that's the analysis on DKNG. I think we're pretty clear there, pretty good. We don't really need to talk too much more on that. I apologize if you're commenting and if I haven't got to your comment. That's because I'm trying to go through all these stocks efficiently and make everyone all happy and dandy. So we're going to be covering AHPI here in just a mixed second. Okay, sorry about that. I was I could fix that. Hold on, guys. I gotta fix something here on my website really quickly. All right, sorry about that. I am back here. Okay, give me a second. Gotta change this over, and then we're good. Maybe not. Alrighty, so we're gonna start here with AHPI. Someone had just talked about this or asked me. It was actually a while ago. So I'm bearish. I think, I think that's gonna pull down. All right, so if you look in here, you will see exactly. So if you look at this dotted line in here, that's the reason the market stopped here. That's why it held here, 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 here. So pretty much it's pretty straightforward. You are looking for a half deviation breakdown on the stock AHPI today, which basically means as soon as you get through this line here at 820, you will probably then fall down to the price of $7.60. So I think I got a $7.60 target today on AHPI in the event it successfully breaks 820. So that's what I'm doing. On the long side, if I'm wrong, right now, if I'm wrong and we're not going to be bearish, which I think we're going to be bearish, you would then be looking for the market to retrace to the upside and back through $8.81. I think you're less likely to go to 881 because that's +3 as opposed to a 2.5, which you probably don't even know what I'm saying right now. So yeah, I would just be bearish AHPI right now. Here it goes. That takes a long time these days. You're the host. Okay, cool. All right, last one we have to talk about is Roku here, and then I'm going to be running through the list of comments, and then also I'm doing a couple other things. I don't know if we touched on Roku yesterday. I don't think we did. Roku is slightly confusing to me. I really don't have a good read on this. That's a big draw. Part of me wants to be bearish on this, so I don't feel comfortable on this yet. So I think my analysis is really just about, yeah, I think for Roku, for me, this would be a situation where I kind of think it's a long still. But anyways, I would want to see the price of Roku reclaiming 401.68. So I think for me, it's kind of an over-under 401 situation to be long bias Roku. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have a whole lot to say there. I would just be looking to get back over 401 on Roku. All right. Feelings on manufacturing over 6 to 12 months. Had EAF at 6, sold all 100 shares at 10s, worth re-entry. I really don't have a good education background in the whole manufacturing thing. I mean, we could talk, but it just basically comes down to COVID and, pretty much just waiting for Big Brother to tell us what's next. That's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I don't even want to talk about that anymore. It's just the clown show that we've been in for the past 2 years now. It's just asinine. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, dude. They got people crossing the border that are infected. They're killing people. I mean, they have Lollapalooza going on with infected people. So we got mass murderers running around the street. We have our government officials not wearing masks. They aren't vaccinated, out killing people. I mean, it's just a shit show. I really don't know what to do. I'm basically so scared for my life. I'm probably just going to sit in my freaking office for the rest of my life behind this computer and never move because Fox News and CNN scare the shit out of me on a day-to-day basis. I am so fearful for my life. I just don't know what to do anymore. What are you going to do, folks? What are you going to do? Is it possible to make the trading click stream with sound on the Momo scanner? Actually, yeah, I looked into that like a couple weeks ago and then never figured it out. So I was going to sit down and retry to figure it out, watch the YouTube videos. So anyways, I have tried to do that. So it's not that I haven't, but I will try to do that some more here. So I'm still trying to work on the hot trade this morning. I still don't know. A lot of the things I've looked at haven't really made me feel like they're going to get the biggest move. So there's still 30 minutes. I'm kind of just surfing around, keeping an eye out on things, and as the market gets closer, I'll finalize, or as market open gets closer, I'll finalize on the few things that I'll probably be watching. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. High frequency trading is what was implying for sure. And also, Dave, that high frequency trading algos and computerized systems that do the execution, they normally trade around standard deviation. So the charting in the system that I'm trying to get you, and well, not necessarily you, but like Matt Kors and Trade Trades, what I've been trying to get them to use would help put them in line with where the algorithms and the computers are doing all the buying. So that's where a lot of computers and high frequency trading machines will buy around, is -3, +2, +1, all around the deviation marks. So basically you're starting to trade with computers and so on when using this. All right. Your English sucks. I mean, okay. I mean, I would say that I am, yeah, I would say that I'm very hard to understand, 100%. Actually, I think it would probably be better to say that I'm just a straight up inbred dumbass. Is probably, I think I would take more kindly to that because it's just a little more accurate. I think if you called me an inbred dumbass, I wouldn't be as hurt as much as saying my English sucks. But what are you gonna do? MRIN at consolidation level for more up. I did look at MRIN today earlier, and I was debating whether or not we were going to get a move. So yeah, anyways, this was something that we talked about yesterday, that MRIN might make a move or like might have a bounce, and the reason being is because it was right on the long-term deviation level. So Dave, regarding your high-frequency trading computer machine, blah, 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 blah. If we zoom in, you will see that this is where the statistical mean is at, and you'll see that these wicks are ending down there. So this tells you, like, that's where some computerized algorithms are starting to buy this market down here, pumped it up. This level here at 648 is previous price action resistance. That's why we stopped there. The reason we stopped there is because that was a first attempt of breaking out the resistance. You can see this drop here. This move back up would be a first attempt to break that resistance, hence why it didn't work. That's why I told you on DKNG you really shouldn't be going for too much, because it would be a first attempt at breaking resistance, which typically fails. Why does it fail? I don't know. That's just the way the shit works. So if you want to be long MRIN, this is a situation where you could be long a dip trying to go back to the high, or you could wait for a breakout, which would be a breakout over 648. So I think this is a situation for the average person, probably just to wait to see if you can get through 648 on MRIN either today and or tomorrow. It's Friday, so that would be Monday. So Monday, right? And then if in the event you do actually get up and through this level, you're going to be first targeting up to the price of $7.39. After that, you would be, I mean, if you're luckier, then it goes up to $9. So for now, you'll target the $7 on a breakout of 650-ish, which really isn't that big of a play. But again, 650, you'll target up to, 735. So breakout 615, 650, you're going to go to 735. MRI. What do you think of trading order flows? If you're talking about like looking at option flow and then trading around that, then sure. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. That's good. You know, there's always a way to make money in the market. There's always a way to trade the market. I can't do everything. I don't know everything. But I know that a lot of people use option flow scanners and studies to try to figure out when stronger money is buying a market to hop in on the trend, which is true. That's what you want to do. Absolutely. Do I think Ford could increase substantially when they roll out EVs? I mean, not really, no. I think there's hype that drives the market for that cause, but not really, right? Unless they're planning on selling their EV cars for $200,000, then I don't really see how they're going to make any more money than they're already making on the cars they're selling, unless their material costs and their production costs significantly go way, way down. Then really they're just going to be producing cars that they have already been producing. The only difference is they're electric. So again, unless they increase the price that they sell for or decrease their operation costs and material costs, then I really just see them probably making same amounts of money. Really. Buy a Glock. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read comments here. It's so, it's hard. There's a lot of them. Wow, that was pretty. I mean, if you know I live in Michigan, then obviously you know I'm from the Midwest. But if you didn't know that I was from Michigan, then that was impressive to call that I'm from the Midwest. Or maybe it really wasn't. I don't know. Oh, that wasn't to me. But that's okay if it was to me, because that's fine. All right, just kind of reading through some comments here, and then I will be taking like a quick little break, and then we'll be back on for, yeah, so give me a second. XELA. Yeah, we should look at XELA because that was something that I know we covered pretty closely the other day. I mean, is this the moment that I say, I told you so? Is this the moment I say, I told you so? No, because then that would mean I'm a dick. Which I've already been called, so I guess it really doesn't matter. Yeah, so with XELA, you will see that it came into these two red lines. It actually went slightly above the other day. Huh. But anyways, pretty much had resistance where we said it was going to have resistance. So, yeah, in the immediate, for XELA to stay up and not break down, it will have to stay above the half deviation price, which you'll see is right there. So in the immediate, the bears are trying to get XELA down to 294 and below. The bulls are trying to make sure that the price of XELA stays above 292-ish, 294 to create immediate movement back upwards. So again, if XELMIC A is going to continue going up in the immediate to provide profit with instant gratification, then the stock should not go below 294 now. If it holds 294 or just starts going back up, then it's going to be retargeting back to the +1 deviation marks, and then the +1 deviation marks will be a resistance until they're not. So pretty much you're looking for the market on XELA to hold 294 on the long side and then move back up to 334 to 326. When you get through 334, 326, then you can just suggest that it's going to go for a +2 move. So right now we're at actually, we were at +1. Now we're at +0.5. We want to hold 0.5, move back to 1, break 1, go to 2. Have you heard anybody describe stocks like that? If you tune in with us, you'll learn it. So again, right now we're at 0.5. We want to go to 1. We want to break 1 and go to 2. And that's all we're going to say. There should be, I think on that channel, there is a link to download them. Let me check. And if they're not, then I will make sure that I update that next week so that you can import those scanners. But I'm going to check. I thought I did. No, I must. Yes, I did. I do have it there. So if you look at the description of the Trading Clips YouTube channel, here you will see fastest market scanners. That's where you get, that's the affiliate link to sign up, and I get paid through Trade Ideas. And then here is the download link, so that if you do get those, then you can use this link and download the scanners that are displayed here. And then you don't even, and then if you want to edit them and do whatever, then of course you can. And then if you use Boiler 15, you get 15% off Trade Ideas. So the download is there right now. And then also for the 378 of you guys, these are free scanners if you want to use them at Trading Clips. Okay. Eve, thank you. No, I live more towards Metro Detroit. If you're familiar with Michigan, then you'll probably know where Novi 12 Oaks area is. That's where I'm located. Oh, this is fun. Good stuff. All right, give me a second. I'm going to be right back. And then what I'm going to do when we come back is we're really just we're going to run through the high, or not the high day, but we're going to run through the gap scan, both the up, both the down. And then I'm going to try to start finalizing on what it is I actually want to view for the day, because I've looked at a bunch of things and haven't really come up with it yet. But also this happens when I stream. I'm also focused on answering your guys' questions, looking at the stocks you want to look at, and putting all these levels. And then a lot of times I kind of just like don't even really consider what it is I want to focus on. So I'm going to take like the next 20 minutes here, really just kind of be going through and analyzing and trying to figure out things that I'm going to focus on for the day. So I will be back here in just a few minutes. Alrighty, folks. Yeah, mix sizzle. Alright, give me just a second. Gotta just kind of be blazing through stocks on my end. That's interesting. Kind of. Chill out, phone. Chill, bro. I'll mention KXIN's kind of interesting because it's got like this flag set up pre-market. It's been a downtrending stock for a long time, so for it to really break up through, say, like 224-ish, it would need it would be kind of impressive. It doesn't really have any news unless it started from yesterday after oh, there was some this morning. Okay, so there is some news. They will establish a new energy vehicle business unit. Nice. So yeah, I mean, KXIN, I feel like this is something you could watch for a penny stock on alongside the day up and through the prices of 222, and a successful breakout of the 222s. I think we might see a target of 274 today, so that might be a penny stock with a good move. It's a little higher on the float, 41 million. Not too shabby. Pins. Yeah, pins might do the dirty. Pins might give us the old drop again. All right, Patriot, have a good one. Hood on the move. You know, I'm a dummy. I was even going to buy it yesterday at market close. I knew it was going to bounce. Sad. Sad, sad. Yeah, I feel like Hood is going to try to get back to prices of about 60, maybe 63. And then I'd imagine it would probably see a little resistance there. So yeah, I think Hood maybe back to 60, into 63 is a possibility for today. I mean, I looked at ANY earlier. It didn't really have... I mean, it was okay. It looked all right. I mean, ANY is already overbought, so it's kind of hard for me to trade into ANY for right now. Okay, one sec. All right. Yeah. So looking at pins, I mean, it's still a part of the analysis, right? You know, the analysis for pins is either we bounce back up to these prices, or you know, we swing lower to, was it 54 to 51? So yeah, hopefully we get the bounce in the immediate rather than having to wait for another dip and then a recovery. So I'm still sitting on that and still think it's doing all right. mRNA is something that debatably still hasn't come down. You know, I think it got downgraded today. Or maybe it got a price target raise, one of the two. Yeah. Still haven't really found anything I'm ecstatic about. Penn, didn't someone say this is going to get bought out by someone? Yeah, so with Penn, you bounced one deviation. I think Penn might be trying to get back up to 75.40 right now. So, yeah, it might be a little long bias towards 75.40 for the time being. Obviously, if you can get through 75.40, that's where a bigger move can happen. So for the time being, yeah, maybe just bullish Penn, hoping to get back to 75.40 and or higher. Yeah, SPPI is doing okay. Etsy's kind of like Roku to me. I don't really see anything there that I'd be crazy trying to do. BNGO, I think, has bottomed, and that's getting ready to be on the long side. I actually entered a small swing on this with Robinhood, I think, the other day before earnings on this one. So I think that's going to continue moving long bias. So that could be something you watch for, more of a swing long, BNGO. XELA, we won't go over because we already went over that one, but you could try to rewind and find out where that was. But I don't think, nothing too crazy with XELA. It's got to go back up to like 320 or something like that for a move. You know, we might have to just continue watching AMD short right now. I think that's probably going to be a play I watch for then. Yeah, I'm going to probably watch the bear side of AMD. That's the 4 hour. The question is, can we get 2 days of downward momentum from this? That's really all it comes down to, I think. Yeah, I think we'll watch, like I said, AMD more bearish today. All right, still got 5 minutes till the open. Yeah, I mean, let's go peek at AMC really quickly. I mean, it's still just kind of sitting in that same area. NVAX short, so earnings down. That does actually look not so good. Yeah, I think I would follow NVAX on the short side to at least start the day. But I don't think I'm going to trade into that, at least for now. SKLZ good for a swing trade. So that started moving up yesterday. It's a downtrending stock. Yeah, I think you can watch SKLZ for a swing long. Yep. And I think you would be trying to target back up to the price of 715 for right now. 715 does not exist within trend today, but I think you'd be targeting somewhere up to 715 for SKLZ right now. Already looked at ANY. It's a little overbought, so I'm probably just going to avoid it myself. Oh, DKNG. How annoying. How annoying. So DKNG did not quite get to the resistance we had mapped off. It shied it by 40 cents and then pulled back. So we were right that we weren't going to break this first attempt without a pullback. But I thought we were going to go up a little bit more before we pulled back, for sure. But let's see, support on the market today for this can be all the way down to there. To here. Oh, it already did that. What do you know? Look at what I was doing. Look at this. Ready? Look at this line here. Let's delete it. Remove. Let's go back to, I think it was a 4 hour. No, it's a daily. Right, let's look at the daily chart. Ready? Zooming in. Zooming in. Shrinking. Zooming in. Zooming in. You see this little dotted line there? Ready? 52.45. Bing. Go back. Look at the 1 minute chart. Oh, look at that bottom. Right there. Now, it's not holding amazing, but you can see market move right to that point. So on this pullback, I think that if DKNG is meant to continue moving long, this is where the market should try to bottom on this move and then start to bounce back. Whew. Yeah, we'll keep KXIN on the watch because, well, yeah, it might be a sketchy little guy, but for sure it's got some potential. Oh, ZY, wasn't that a stock from yesterday? Yeah, that was a stock from yesterday. Maybe, yeah, continue pulling down on ZY. Yeah, I mean, I think ZY was meant to pull down to pretty much where it's at, like down to this. So, yeah, maybe you look for a slight dip buy at 12.92, but if it starts to get weakness and falling below 12.92, I'd probably just leave it alone. Thoughts on the market today? Ho-hum diddly-dum. If you go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll get the analysis on the market. We normally start the stream off by doing market analysis, Qs, NASDAQ, SPY. So go to like the first 20 minutes of the stream and you should get to that. Well, it looks like AMD still trying to sell down here this morning at least. Look at DKNG. Did anybody just see DKNG kind of drop down to that support area we mentioned, start to bounce a little bit? Yeah, penny stocks pick up during the fall and the winter. There goes DKNG down into that desired location and Mick bouncing. Lego. Looks like AMD's coming back up on the day, at least for now. The SPY is ripping right now. If you look at Robinhood went up to the price of 59 and sold down as recommended. You would see Robinhood probably hit up towards 59 or start into that zone, right? So we suggested that this red line to that red line would be where you try to go long to. You can see we have held resistance, at least for now, off the first red line. DKNG is still doing okay, but yeah. BTBT. Yeah, BTBT through yesterday's highs. That is very good. Come on, freaking thinkorswim. Thank you. Whew. All right, popping over to oh my goodness, AMC is selling down, but who would have known that? Oh, just everybody that tuned into Boiler Room Trading stream this morning, but no big deal, no big deal. Yeah, again, nothing really for me to do with AMC at this point. I didn't trade it bearish. I should have, but didn't. So all good. Just sitting DKNG long, hoping this continues ripping. Still looks pretty good, so that's cool. And then it also dropped into the desired support area and it bounced pretty well. So I think DKNG is good on the day. I feel like we came into the support area the way it wanted to and it held well. I just don't know if we're going to continue really running today or if it's going to try to do that like tomorrow. So we'll see. But yeah, pretty much DKNG's got to stay over that like 52.50 to like 51.90 ideally to, you know, keep grinding up in the immediate. So yep, that's about it. Check my mix scanner. PRTS has been hitting the scanner, but nothing really good's coming of. All right, so there they go, running DKNG right back down to the mean. So again, this is DKNG basically pulling back down towards support areas is really all it's doing. Not a ton. Very small starter position on DKNG because, again, it hit resistance really strong pre-market, so I feel as if it's going to take maybe a couple days for it to base and then grind up, so I don't really see a need to have a monster position on it today. AMC, decent bounce. So yeah, they're gonna try to run the market on DKNG back down through the mean. I wonder if they're gonna go for a gap fill move on this market. Yeah, I mean, KXIN still battling. Again, you can't really suggest KXIN long till it's actually crossing through the 223 mark. Just dip bought a little more on DKNG there. Yeah, we got about 396 Magoos in here, so let's go ahead and just, we'll all tickle that like button a little bit and get that puppy up to about 300. AMY or ANY? Or there is an AMY, but you're talking about ANY is the question. Doggos, I don't know if you're new to the stream with over like the past couple days, but we're just straight up going live analysis, not P&L window. If you're looking for live trading like that, I would highly suggest you go into our Elites program with Brandon. But yeah. So yeah, DKNG, like I said, basically down to that support area. The idea would be that it holds here. If it doesn't, market's probably going towards like a gap fill, which would be down to like 50.72 or something. You're cheating on the beginner trader here. Well, I welcome you, Forrest Gump, but also I will be on the Beginner Traders channel next Monday for I don't know how long, but we will be there too. The button was automatically liked upon entrance. That's what I like to hear. All right, so we're looking at KXIN here, ladies and gentlemen. It's coming up a little bit, but again, it still has to get through 223 to justify this is going to be a good move. David, I made you 5 Gs yesterday. Very nice, my friend. That's basically my main objective with this stream, is to hopefully call price targets and everything accurate enough so that everybody can make slightly wiser investment decisions going forward. It's not financial advice, ladies and gentlemen. It's just entertainment. So again, you can see KXIN is where? It's right now, you can see it's holding below the intraday regression trend. So the reason that KXIN is currently kind of stopping is it's hitting its intraday regression trend. You see that there. We just got up to 222. So basically you're right on the breakout level. This would be the first attempt of the breakout. So most oftentimes it would fail, but we'll see if the momentum is strong enough. Because again, this is a first attempt. First time the price has gotten back to this resistance level since pre-market. So this is a first attempt to break resistance. Most commonly, you'd see resistance, maybe a little pullback, tricky Magoo, and then it would rip true. Oh, what do you know? McRipstick. All right, target on KX MixIN could be all the way to 270 MiC2. Let me just make sure that analysis is correct before we all end up just blowing our account because Connor's an idiot. I mean, I would love to see the 270. It's a really, the stock is in an awkward downtrend, so this is not a, it's kind of odd, but you know, I hope we get 270. That would be cool. Yeah, DKNG really just making a mockery of today. The stock EJH just came across the scanner. I'm not really sure if it's anything good, but it did come across the scanner. I'm slowly making money back on DKNG that I've lost this morning as it kind of goes back upwards, but again, kind of still soon to tell. Oh my gosh. Would you just look at KXI MIC-N? Hopefully it can continue going. AMD bounced off 3.5 dev and going down. I was kind of wondering if it was going to bounce back up, hit resistance, and then come down. But this thing just looks absolutely strong. So I don't think I would try to short against that for right now. I would say this is probably something where you anticipate, well, we are at the half candle retrace, so this is probably an area where it does pull back. And if it's not here, On AMD, sorry, I would imagine it's going to be up at 115.74. So you should see a pullback here on AMD because it got to the half candle retrace level from yesterday, which is that kind of orange dotted line you see. Kind of, if I could get it properly, there it is. Boom. So a lot of times we'll get little retraces and pullbacks around the half candle retrace mark, which is right now at 114.50. Robinhood is at 60 bucks. So Robinhood is back to the first level of resistance. If you can break this, then you might be targeting up to about 62 McFifty on old Robinhood. Oh yeah, believe me, donations are definitely accepted here. If you guys make 5,000 G's on a trade, I would highly suggest just leaving a super chat for your boy. KXIN, you will see right now, is just sitting on the 100-day moving average. The buying volume still looks pretty good. Above this, you have the 200 moving average, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, target 270. A DKNG almost back to positive on the day. So that must mean that DKNG is doing something decent right now. Oh, what do you know? It bounced in its support here, which we identified before market open. Oh, what do you know? But it's still got a lot of work to do. It's really choppy, really confusing. So this is something that I don't even want to look at. It's just going to give me a heart attack. 250, 247 on KXIN. Not too shabby. Yeah, hopefully DKNG like actually bottomed there, like legitimately this time. That would be nice. Okay, let's just go look at the hood. Because, I mean, so far, the analysis is working like a charm. Oh, that's 2Ds. I'm like, how? When did I ever do that? Ethan Reynolds, the boy. If there's something you want me to take a look at, feel free. Anytime you send a super chat, make sure you put a ticker, something like that, so that way I can look at something for you. What was I going to do? I was going to look at Hood. H-O-O-D. The Mick Hood. Yeah, so Hood is still hitting. It got over the first resistance level. It sure did. But I don't feel comfortable selling it short. I think I'd have to buy shares anyway, so I don't even know if I'm willing to do that. So anyways, yeah, I don't know what to do with Hood. I just know that it's kind of respecting the resistance. But we also did a kind of bullish U-shaped move. So I'm also like, is it going to hit the second target? Because I would hate shorting here to get squeezed out to the second target. It's kind of a lot of risk. So maybe I'll just kind of hold off. And in the event it does go up to 62s, then I could maybe justify a short there or something. All right, so I'm going to give the... No, I'm not. I think... I don't know. I mean, KXIN, the 275 target, great target idea. It's possible it even goes to $3, but I don't think I would trade for $3 on KXIN. I think anything, even this is a great selling point for KXIN if you've been long. Going for the 275 is really just me and or you going for the last little bit of the move, which generally tends to be a little harder because you're going to have to experience usually a pullback, little confusion that might confuse you to take you out of a trade, but anyways, we're still long KXIN. We're going to look for that puppy to go all the way up to that 275. Yeah, we're right at the 200 moving average. I do see that. So I was wondering if the 200 moving average would end up holding it. I don't think it is. I think it's just going to be a short-term pullback off the 200, push through 200 up to 275. If I'm wrong, I don't care. We already had a good trade on it. Good analysis. Pretty straightforward. Do you hold any 5G stocks? I gotta look through my portfolio, but I believe I do. Generally speaking, my portfolio changes it doesn't always change, but usually every quarter it gets updated. So I gotta see what's in there. But probably, I don't know if it'll be next week, but maybe by the end of next week, beginning of the week after that. What we're going to be doing too is kind of bringing up my Webull account, and we're going to have pretty much, I almost want to call it like a benchmark for the channel. I don't know if that would be a proper way of explaining it, but we're basically going to have like Webull being the how do I explain? It's like the benchmark portfolio that runs on this channel at all times, but it's going to be a very low risk, safe portfolio for investing, so that anybody that ever tunes in to the channel, they can see like a long-term investment portfolio with low risk ETFs and dividend ETFs and things like that. And that's probably going to be like the benchmark portfolio of the channel that just continuously gets added to regardless of market conditions and just grows over the long term. And the reason I kind of wanted to do that was so that anybody who isn't always adamant about day trading, swing trading, things like that, they can still have fun on the channel. Also, that if anybody gets into day trading, they go, holy shit, this is way too hard, then they could also use the same strategy on the Webull account that I have, which is basically just a low risk ETF long-term portfolio that's supposed to grow at like a moderate risk, so to speak. Because again, not everyone can do this. Hell, some days I can't do this for shit. So again, it's nice to have other investment approaches as opposed to just like one thing. So it's going to take me some time because I have to move some capital from another account to another account to do what I want to do. So that's all going to take some time. So I figured by the end of next week or the beginning of the following week, I should have been able to transfer funds properly. With all the settlement times and whatnot. So again, end of next week, beginning of the next following week or whatever, I think we'll be having the Webull platform up with the benchmark portfolio that you guys could follow along with too if you'd like. It's not going to generate a ton of money right away. It is a long-term growing portfolio. So you literally just sit in this shit and it's like paint drying. It's literally like paint drying, but it makes money, but it's slow. And when I say it's a safe portfolio, like I literally mean it's a safe portfolio. You're not going to wake up one day and be like, oh shit, I'm down 10%. Like that does not happen. And the only reason that does happen, if it does happen, is because the stock market crashes or we go through a significant correction. If we go through a significant correction, then everyone's losing money and we're all in the same boat together and we can sing kumbaya, okay? So that's the thing. It's a pretty low risk approach. It gains well. But in the event there is a market correction, you will see negative returns just like everyone else. They just probably won't be as severe because you won't be heavily concentrated into one asset class or equity. You're going to be dispersed, hence moderate risk portfolio. So it will be dispersed. So your loss, like say the market went down 10%, I can't say for sure what it would go down, but like, for example, if the market corrected 10%, someone holding a portfolio of tech stocks, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, is probably going to see, down 25% or 20%, 18%, 15 or something. Whereas yours in this situation might only be like 10, 8, and so on. But yeah, I mean, it's basically, it would be a portfolio for it's a portfolio for the rest of my life. Sort of thing. This isn't like, oh, you make a portfolio, you kind of dabble and change things. It's like, nope, you pick these, and it's just reoccurring in money, and then you have a little capital outside of that in cash that you can use for kind of dicking around and, I'm going to try to get a 20-30% return on this stock, and you play a little risk too. So it's a safe account with just a little bit of cash on the top, like the pyramid. Remember I was talking about the pyramid the other day? So you got a pyramid. Your portfolio is going to be this whole bottom half, very safe, sound, and then the top half will be your cash, which could be 1,000, 500, 4,000, depending on your account value. And then that's what you're going to use for some short-term trading to try and get a quicker gain that you can then add to the base of the foundation. Anyways, I'm talking a lot, so. KXIN, Anyways, by the way, sold KXIN, no longer in it because I was really only trying to go to 275-ish. We hit 266. I figured that was good enough. Again, this is that situation where we got close, but didn't get there quite. It might still go there, but you had to hold through kind of an aggressive pullback. So anyways, I cut ties with KXIN. Good move, good trade. Thumbs up to everyone. Let's go take a peek at DKNG because DKNG is down again. So that must mean it retraced right back into the support zone. Yep, look at that. Look at DKNG, retrace right back down into the support zone. And then look what happened. Candle bought again. Just added another little bit to DKNG as we went into that support area. Not a lot, just a little tizzy, because why not? Oh, by the way, don't know if anybody else is, but still long Uber from yesterday. Pretty much Uber hit all of our price targets like perfectly yesterday. I did not expect that was going to happen so quickly. I thought it would be like a couple day hold to get the move, but Uber pretty much did all that almost instantly. So I'm still long it. It's a very small position. I figured I might as well just hold it long and just see if I get lucky and this ends up retracing higher. So anyways, that's that. Oh my gosh. There goes KXIN all the way to 275. Wow. I really wish I knew what I was doing. Shit is way too hard sometimes. No, it actually at 272. I was lying. It's only 273. So arguably, this is sometimes where I would consider taking a short. I don't know if I necessarily feel comfortable doing that. It doesn't even have shares of short. It's hard to borrow, so you have to pay for shares of short. But are the shares of short even, how expensive are they? Really not that expensive. I could see it maybe getting up to a price of 298 today, but not right now. Ethan Reynolds, the boy, I appreciate you, fam. That helps a lot. All of those super chats that you guys give me going forward, anytime you guys give me one of those, that's all just basically going to be used to deposit and be invested into that portfolio on Webull that I talked to you about. So that's all just going to get reinvested. It's not going to get spent. I'm not going to take your guys' money and go buy a Lambo. Okay? I'm going to take that money. I'm going to invest that money. Because then I can buy a Lambo. Lego. So anyways, there's that 272. It's almost there. It's at 273-ish, 4-ish, 5-ish. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your target. Oh, by the way, totally forgot about that. I'm glad you said something. I need to send you guys the new link for the coaching now that I fixed it because it was broken yesterday. Part of me wants to short KXIN here just to do it just because I know we're on a resistance point, but I'm not. Part of me feels this is going to end up breaking the +1 and we're going to go to the mean, which is at 298 now. And if we go to 298, then I will probably end up taking a short play at 298. So in the event you are still long KXIN, by the time it gets to 298, just know I will probably be selling the stock short. Okay, yes, Mick Coaching. Wait, where'd you go? Announcements, discount. Oh, what am I talking about? Hold on. You knucklehead. What's the point of doing all this cool stuff if you're never going to use them? Commands, custom, mentoring IM. Okay. So, in a second, a link should pop up there in the chat. That will be a link to take you to our website where you can fill out a form and enroll right there, one-on-one mentoring. So you got to go there, enter information, little description on what it is you would like to discuss and or cover. That way I'm prepared going into the meeting, and so on and so forth. Thomas, we start the stream at 8 in the morning every day. All I ask is you hit the thumbs up button. You share the stream with your friends or family and any other trading community that you're involved in that you believe would see value in the stream without stepping on the toes of the admins or the moderators of that chat room. If you are going to post a link to the stream, I would highly suggest that you contact the admins and or the moderators of such chat rooms or Facebook groups and get their okay before doing so. And the best way to probably get their okay for doing so is just tell them that it's a Savage stream, and you just gotta do it. So, but again, don't step on people's toes. Make sure you're considerate, respectful, and that's it. And your grandma. You can never forget about the grandma. She loves to tune in as well. Oh, what do you know? DKNG still just trading back and forth, doing a bunch of dumb shit. So you can see KXIN selling off after hitting 277. Again, let's just zoom in really quickly on KXIN so you kind of understand the dealio here. Yeah, so look at where that red line's at there at 274. Okay, cool. Now we're going to go to the daily chart. Excuse me, we're going to go to the 4-hour chart. So then when we go to the 4-hour chart, you will see that there is this beautiful orange-ish line, which is right there. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why the market on KXIN is stopping where it's stopping, and that line is exactly why we said that you would look for a $2.75 target on KXIN today. And now, oh, sorry, hold on. Now, what we're considering is maybe Connor's analysis was wrong and it can still go higher all the way to the daily chart price target, which would be, let me show you, which would be the motherfucker mean, which is all the way at 298. So, one second. In the event we break through this 270-ish mark, I do believe we're going to move up towards the 298 price. And that is for sure where I'd probably be bearish to stock. Look at Mick Uber. God damn. She is just cranking and McBanking. DKNG, it must have bounced because I'm losing less money now. So that's a good thing. DKNG. Oh, 1 minute chart. Lego Delta Pro Master $4.99 coming in hot. This stuff is lit AF. You can be sure this is lit. Absolutely litty. All right, let's take a peek at DKNG here for a second because I think it's going back up. Kind of. Not really, but kind of. Still doesn't really, I have no idea what this is going to do, honestly. Like when you ask me, like, oh, what's this going to do? I mean, it's just consolidating sideways, still kind of bearish. Yes, we've been bottoming and holding supports, but you know, for this to really pop, it's got to get back up over 52.40. So for the time being, DKNG is really just not really doing anything cool. Oh, come on, KXIN, really? Couldn't break the 277? Oh, and that's a double top, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? Reject resistance, come back up, retest that deviation down. You get double tops off deviations. Okay, stocks, when it looks like they're double topping, but they're not on a deviation, then they normally aren't going to double top. So this is a perfect example of a double top where we actually hit true trending resistance, pull back, bulls try to break it back up over 270, fail, all stop out, and now it moves down. Ethan Reynolds, the boy, again. I literally, you know, I really appreciate you guys. I thank you guys for tuning in. Been doing this for a lot of years, and I gotta say, this is the most fun that I've had over the course of being on YouTube for years. And this is actually the reason why I switched the service too. By the way, just so you know, when I ended my premium service through Boiler Room Trading, just know I cut out a significant amount of money from my life, right? So I wasn't doing, you know, so that, I mean, obviously I think long term YouTube could actually make more money than that, but I instantly cut out lots of money from my monthly revenue myself so that I could be here. And part of the reason is because I just have a lot more fun just kind of being myself and on YouTube. Whereas when you have people paying you for a service, then there's a service that like you feel pressured to provide, which is fine. But then you kind of got to be slightly more professional, which is good. But I can just feel I'm a little bit more of myself here when I work on YouTube. I like it. I like the energy. So that was also a big portion of why I decided to move here too. Thomas, the Nightbot deleted your message. It might have been bad. It might have not been. You know, I got to fix that one of these days, but don't worry about it. Whatever you said, just put it back up there. What does the orange line mean on KXIN? It's a standard deviation mark. It's called +1 deviation. Basically, if you take a second to go to Google right now and start researching standard deviation, that's a good thing. You should do that. You think I'm cute and you shouldn't leave my side. Well, Robert, I don't have much to say about that. Other than there's a spot right in my bed if you want to snuggle later tonight. Come on over. You're Mick DJ. KXIN ready to mix spiky? +1 for snuggles, please. All right. Yeah, same thing, KXIN, if you can get that. Well, not if you, but again, market's got to get up through 274. Once it does that, then we could be looking, like I said, at that 298 move. DKNG, let's fucking go. Because I'm up 4 cents profit. Let's go. Life-changing. Life-changing. But no, you remember how I said just like 5 seconds ago that we're not going to really get a pop until the market gets back over 52.45, which is this little gray box here. You can see we went through 52.45 and a little popper Magoocher McGee. Yeah, well, it's kind of creating a flag pattern now, so hopefully this actually like results in a bull flag breakout. I don't know though. I still am not confident enough on that. It's got to hold over. I mean, I could even talk to you about like absolute intraday movement, like if I wanted to, but like look at this, right? Look at this 1 minute chart. Look at where the pullback's going. So you can see we had this little up move. It breaks over the half deviation. We spike up. We pull back where? To the half deviation. And so this is the pullback support of that current move. So as long as the market on DKNG here stays above the half deviation of 52.39, you will see the market move higher. If in the event DKNG starts to roll down and it cracks the half deviation, then that's where the market's probably going to target back down to the low of the range, which would be 51.80. Shee. See how DKNG is coming back down to the half deviation and breaking the half deviation right there? Bing, bang, boom. Well, it's broke, but it's got to close below. So the markets, they're still supporting it there. Still supporting. Really odd why it would do that. Do you wait on DKNG to hit the bottom line to go long? I mean, the best way that I can explain DKNG is that it spiked up and this pullback is down to support. So currently algorithms and computers have been buying into this dip. Does it end up holding for sure? I have no idea. Does it retrace back down to that lower line to give you another entry? I have no idea. I just know that as the markets retrace into this zone, this is where people have been starting to buy it and would be considering buying it for a long if this market's meant to continue trending up. So that's about it. And which, by the way, that does not look good at all. So that tells me I think markets are going to try to trickle down a little more, unless we get lucky here. We are pretty close to the end of this wedge, right? We've just really been wedging sideways. So we're pretty close to the end of that. So there's going to be a decision made here pretty soon on DKNG, whether spike up, spike down. Pins is McDipping. Yeah, it might be doing what we expected it could do, which was basically go down to the next price target. Yeah, so the way this is set up, so basically the last line of defense for the bulls is this half deviation price. In the event you start cracking below, this half deviation price, if it would ever just work, Thinkorswim, please. Yeah, so pretty much you get a half deviation price on DKNG at 58.80. That's the last line of defense for the bulls in this bottom. Once that gives out, you're going to see the pins market continue lower, which would probably target down to this 55.11 and or down towards like 51.54. So for me on on pins, I'm going to have like a stop probably. I'm debating it. I mean, I don't even really care to stop out because I could let this go all the way down to these zones, but then it would take a really long time to recover. So I'd basically just be sitting in a losing trade for a really long time. So I might just decide to take my swing off if we start breaking the half deviation and closing below sort of this big shift candle. Because if that happens, it's probably going to trickle lower. So we'll see. I haven't fully yet decided. Honestly, I buy whenever I think the right time is to buy at. So if I don't buy the dip, then I wait for a breakout. If I'm in on the dip, then I'm in on the dip. Ideally, I'm always trying to be first in. Always. Why? Well, actually, they say don't try to catch bottoms, don't try to catch tops. It's extremely risky. It's extremely risky to catch a bottom and a top when you have no idea where a bottom and a top can be. But when you have an idea a good idea as far as where a bottom and a top can be, then you can short and you can buy on the bottom, hoping to be first in. First in always makes the most on the trend. So yeah, for me, sometimes buy breakouts, sometimes buy dips, all the same at the end of the day, I think. But I always am generally trying to be first in. No, actually, I used to think it was good to start trading like 30 minutes after the open, but at the end of the day, what I've come to realize is that the market is always going to be trending, whether it's market open and or pre-market, and the good low-risk buying zones or the good low-risk selling zones are always going to be the good low-risk buy and the good low-risk selling zone, regardless if the market is open or if the market is in pre-market or after hours. The buy zone is always the buy zone, and the sell zone is always the sell zone, whether that happens in pre-market or whether it happens in after hours or during the day. The zones are still the same of where you should be trading. The only thing that really changes is when you get to market open, there's more volume and more liquidity. So yes, easier to get filled during market hours as opposed to pre-market in some situations. But that's probably about it for me regarding that. Kevin, that's funny you said that because I did have someone comment on that channel like 3 weeks ago, and they're like, what the heck, bro? where are the scans for today? These are the scans for yesterday, bro. What the hell? It's like, for one, they're free. I do that for free. Two, you're just looking at the wrong chart, bud. They're online, right? Literally, like they're live right now. He's like, you put up the wrong ones. I'm like, well, maybe I didn't, and you're just looking in the wrong place. But that was funny. I'm glad you said that. It just lets me know that, okay, that does happen to some people. SPCE says $450,000 for a ride into space for the average guy. I think I'd rather wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart for the rest of my life than pay $450,000 to go to space for 2 seconds. Probably in a penis-shaped rocket. Okay, well, that was Jeff Bezos. That's not SPCE, but still, you get the point. I would rather just not pay $450,000 to go on a ride to space. I'm good. Okay, again, we're still kind of watching this KXIN. You can see, look at that candle, right? Look at that candle. So this is another great example of, you know, what a lot of the retail market looks at, right? Like this is a very big thing about the retail market. So if we look here at the MIC retail, right, they might have saw like a flag pattern or something here, and then that candle broke up, and they're like, okay, it's breaking out, but they have no idea that at 274, 275, one deviation resistance exists. So they could be looking to go, okay, we're breaking that wedge. All the YouTube videos and all the articles on Investopedia and Google say that when the flag breaks and I go over this candle high, I'm supposed to long. But if they don't know that standard deviation statistics put one deviation at 274, then they really don't know. They're buying a flag pattern right into dead nut resistance. Hence why people buy the breakout and then the candle slaps back right down and they go, what the... So, and you can see, look at where that candle went perfectly on the red line. Perfectly. Oh no. DKNG, are you going down again? Yep, DKNG just chilling right on the bottom of that zone, like I said. KXIN, dude, can you give us the old break Magoo? Looks pretty good. Still failing, though. The link I sent today shouldn't have been the same link as the other day. It shouldn't have been. Yeah, Dylan Hawthorne, DKNG, third time on support. Just an FYI. The more time something touches a certain level does not make it stronger. It generally actually makes it weaker. But again, still, just note that just because it's touching 3 times or 4 times or 5 times doesn't actually make it a stronger support. That's a big false narrative in the market. Again, so today the stream was at about, we hit about a max of 411 viewers at one time, which is very, very good. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. We're basically still doing a case study here, which is that it seems that my YouTube streams always get restricted right at about 390 to 400 these days. So we're kind of just keeping track of that to see if we do this for like a month straight, if we ever kind of crack that 400 number, because you would imagine after streaming for a month straight for 3 hours a day, you'd eventually get over maybe 400 viewers, you know, in a given moment in time. So that is something that we are tracking. We're tracking the viewers, how much we go up to at a certain moment in time and a length of time. for reasons that we can't really say because you can't say that apparently these days. But yeah, that's again, that is why I'm basically begging you guys to share the stream to other locations, because to me, I believe there is a force at play against the channel. I can't be too certain. I mean, it's kind of like 9/11, right? We kind of know what happened, but they're just never really going to tell us, even though we know. And it's kind of the same situation here. It's like I kind of know or think I know what's going on behind the scenes with my account, but we'll know for sure if you guys forcefully just keep sharing the stream. And if the numbers somehow don't magically start getting over 400, then there has to be some reason that there's a resistance there, right? There has to be a resistance keeping us from getting over that mark. So you guys know me, I've always been a little bit on the conspiratorial side, but I don't think it's conspiracy. You have to pay to play on YouTube. What do you mean by pay to play on YouTube? Exactly, crew. How do you have 172,000 subscribers but can only get 400 views on your streams for 3 hours, and then your average video only gets 3,000 views? And if you post 3 videos, the 3 videos only get 1,000 views to accumulate a total of 3,000. I mean, am I crazy? Does that sound crazy? Or does it sound like there's a force at play there? Does that make sense to you? You upload 1 video, get 3,000. Upload 3 videos, get 3,000. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jackass sitting in my computer chair. I mean, yeah, maybe more likes could be a thing, but we do that too. And, you know, even when you get significantly more likes on a video, it still gets the same amount of views. So I don't know. Maybe it's because I just talk too much shit about YouTube and they just know it. That's also true. But I guess I'll never really know for sure the reason. You know, maybe it's, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Nope, AMC live streams don't work. Even by making a video with Matt Kors and Trey Trades, the 2 most popular YouTube fanatics in the stock market, that video only got like 2,500 views. Very interesting, I got to say. And even Matt Kors, I've been watching his YouTube channel. The dude's been stuck at like 363,000 followers for like 2 months. The dude went from 0 to 363 in like a year, whatever. And now, for the past 3 months, he's stuck at 363,000. And his channel got banned twice. And he's not verified yet. Seriously. Oh, no. I refuse to pay for advertising. That's what you're saying. Yeah, advertising. Yeah, maybe. I actually did think about it. Chamber Media is a good company. I've seen their ads before. I've debated doing that. It takes time. I know it takes time. I've only been at this for like 4 years. Oh, there's another one. I've been subscribed and your videos don't hit my timeline. The 400 should get a golden medal. Sean Claubal. I know. I don't understand what the issue is with Teachable not advertising that product publicly on the site. I talked to him yesterday. They said it was all good. Clearly, those people are having some technical difficulties. So I will post another link here, which I shouldn't have to because it should be visible on our homepage. But I did just post a link, or it's going to come up here in about a second. KXIN hitting KXIN up to 293. Wow, would you look at that? That's impressive. It still looks too strong to really bet against even at this price. I was considering it. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm entering a small short there on KXIN. See if we at least get a little pullback and I can profit off it. It's at the regression level, or it's at the mean. So a lot of times you do get a little rejection here. Still, KXIN does seem pretty strong, and we're not really on any intraday resistance. So we'll see if this actually works. It's a strong stock still, so it might fail. Day trading course is not covered in the link. That makes no sense. I literally changed that link just the other day. Actually, just this morning. So that literally makes 0 sense that it doesn't work. All right, well then this link would have to work. So I'll send this one in. So this link should work. All right, there goes. Sorry, I'm gonna pull up KXIN here. So KXIN starting to see a red candle there. Again, I'm short. I'm hoping we get a decent little correction here. Oh, the market makers gave me such a shit fill on that entry before, basically making it nearly impossible to generate a profit on this unless we crack down the half deviation price. So again, my short play won't make any money unless the market makers allow the market to shift through the half deviation point and actually correct a little bit. Yeah, see how they're just kind of, they're kind of dicking it around, being assholes. Oh wow, look at Hood. Hood's getting just annihilated right now. Yeah, so far they keep holding KXIN up. I mean, all we need is just like a halfway decent candle down. So covered a little bit on the short. Again, they're just not really allowing this to fall very easily, even though we're at the regression level. Yeah, Sean, you have to go. You actually have to put in your information to get to the checkout page. All right, there goes KXIN. Perfect. Finally. Boom. Perfect. Thank you. So covered most of that short. KXIN might be able to get this down to about 275. Looking for a 275 to 280. 275, 280. 275, 280. We're at 284. 275, 280. DKNG looks like shit, so just gonna cut that small trade. No point of holding that for now. If it wants to come back up at some other point, tomorrow, later at some point, that's great, but it's breaking down. I don't care to hold that anymore. Alrighty, and I just covered the short. No, I didn't, because that was that. All right, just took my short off on KXIN, so all out of that guy. Good short play, good short play. So, I mean, is there a round of applause for calling the short at the 298? It's just a little golf clapper, Magoo. Come on, people. So what is the best time frame suggest for day trading? 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Again, I just trade off daily chart and 4-hour levels. That's it. I usually just look at a 1 minute chart and then I just trade off the 180-day 4-hour chart and the 1 year 1 day. But most commonly, people probably use 5-minute charts when it comes to day trading. $10.30. Well, it does appear that we might have more views today because right now we're currently at 4,385 playbacks and it's 10:30. I believe we were at about 4,300 at 11 o'clock yesterday. So in about another 33 minutes when the stream ends, maybe we'll be closer to 5,000 today. So if that's the case, then theoretically, the views would be increasing, but the concurrent or people who are actively, consistently viewing the stream hasn't really managed to get above 400. Interesting. What are those parallel diagonal lines? That is called standard deviation. Oh yeah, my IG story, yeah, because my phone died on the golf course. So it was fun. I hit 2 on the back of the green and I hit 1 in the sand trap, which was funny because it's like, oh, here we are in the fairway or whatnot. And like, oh, let's see how many we can get on the green. It's like, oh, just kidding, phone died, but I'm a pro. That was pretty funny. So yeah, there goes KXIN. You can see it's at the price of $279. I had a full downside move for that short of about $275. So I do think you're going to see KXIN drop a little bit further down to about $270 MIC 5. And then it's going to try to bounce a little bit maybe. Yes, I do have a Google AdSense account. Yes, I do. Will you guys... Wait. Will you guys let me know if this works? I've never tried this and I don't know, but there is a, here I'll show you on my screen, kind of like, this is what it looks like from my screen if you guys don't know. So if like from a streaming perspective on YouTube, so from your guys' super chats as a thank you for me doing whatever I'm doing here, being a goofball, I got paid $29 today. So theoretically I've been on since 8, so 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I've almost made $10 an hour, theoretically, from that. But this is what it looks like. So this kind of like shows how many people are viewing, how many people are concurrent, the rate of the chat. The playbacks are generally like how many people hopped in and then hopped out. So it's like a total count of the people that came in. But this is how many people are usually, this is the active viewers consistently. Likes, monetization is on. That means ads are running. I typically have a category as education, but I changed it to entertainment over the past couple of days to see if it would make any difference. I haven't noticed any, but I definitely think I'm entertaining and I'm educational. So I don't know. But lastly, the monetization is on. So something I wanted to try. I don't know if it works, but you see this up here. It says insert ad, which I think is a new feature where you could actually insert an ad to the stream that's already going on, but I don't know. So I just clicked it. So would you guys let me know if at any point an ad actually comes up in the middle of the stream? Like, does that actually happen? I don't know how that works, and I've never used it before, but I'm assuming by doing ad inserted, there should be an ad that goes through the middle of the stream. So if you're already viewing and then all of a sudden you get hit with an ad, let me know, because then I'll know what that function is. Oh, it did work. Wow. Cool. Well, then one day we should just literally try me just punching the add button a ton of times. Not that I want to do that to you guys, but I actually want to see if we just keep clicking the add button, does the ad revenue actually increase, or is it just a psychological thing to make you think it increases? Because I don't know. That would be fun to know. No ad there. I think ad appears. Yeah, I got an ad. Just saw the ad. Only see ads before the stream starts. Got the ad. Just got the ad. YouTube Premium. So no ads. Okay. Don't see. Yes to ads. Just got an ad. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Alrighty. I won't kill you guys with ads. All right. I won't do that to you. But I would be curious to see if we just did a day where it's like ad, if it actually made a ton of money. Because they say it does. They say the more ads you have on your videos, the more money you make. But I've had videos with one ad, and I've had videos with 3 ads. And the video with 1 ad equally makes the same amount of money as the one with 3 ads. So I don't know. I can't figure it out. Do it again. All right, I did it again. Sorry. Someone told me to do it. I did it. What can I say? But yeah, let me know. Does it go through again? Like, did it happen? Nope, no. Yeah, you can click skip. You can watch them if you want to watch. If you want to watch them, I get paid more. But if you skip it, you skip it. I don't care if you skip it. I always skip everything. Didn't get anything assigned? No. Yes, you are both. Nope. I didn't get this one. Didn't get to add either. I get it. No. So it clearly means that YouTube is smart enough to not let someone just consistently smack the ad there. No ad, 1 ad. So it sounds like majority of you guys aren't getting the ad after doing it twice. So I'm assuming there is troubleless 1. Yeah, we are trading today. We've already done a lot of discussion since 8 in the morning. But if you make sure to tune in Monday at 8 in the morning, you're going to see a whole lot of stuff going on. So just make sure to tune in at 8 a.m. if you can, Monday through Friday. If you're going to be later than that, that's fine. So again, it just kind of seems like maybe there is a limitation or a timeline to how often you'd be able to use that. But thanks for going through that test phase with me, because I've never done that. Okay, let me check the scanner. I haven't seen my scanner in a while. The only thing on the scanner was KXIN, which we already know the dealio with that guy. But yeah, I mean, we pretty much nailed KXIN today almost perfectly. So, thumbs up to that. You're not the one that has the power of choosing the ad, but Eddie, at least sitting through the skip phase, like the 5-second skip phase and going through, I think that helps, but I definitely would not encourage you to watch a 4-minute and 40-second ad at all. That is so weird. I'm going to have to double check the mentoring. Something really odd's going on with that. It's a new feature they brought to the site, so I'm wondering if there's just bugs in there or if I set it up incorrectly, but I don't know. It's kind of frustrating that it's not working the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to pop back over here, take a look at pins. So yeah, pins is going down. Pins is trading like shit again. So this is probably going to be a situation where the market does not retrace immediately. And maybe we do go for the lower target all the way down to something like 55.49. So we'll just have to keep following that one over the next couple days, but it kind of looks like we're going to end up retracing back down to 55.18 or so. But we'll probably know by Monday what the deal is on that. Okay, so what price will AMD bounce at? Wait. I mean, it already bounced. We're actually at the short level with AMD, and I'm going to do it. Yep, taking a short there on AMD. In short, I think it's going to pull back a little more than what we've seen. It's been a strong stock, so I don't think it's just going to be an immediate crash. It might take some time, but I think we're at a level that it would make sense to see AMD kind of trickle down, pull back. I mean, even if it's a little decrease, that's fine. Geoffrey, yeah, I'm not showing the trading window here, and that was kind of a part of the switch going to YouTube. Is that, yeah, you're not going to see. I mean, all the trades I'm doing are the trades I'm doing. You're not going to watch P&Ls. If anybody want to watch P&Ls live trading, we still offer the Elites Trading Program for that service. So really, the objective, my main objective, pretty much going forward on YouTube, is just to provide straightforward technical analysis for anybody who wants to watch. And if anybody really wants to involve themselves into a more intuitive trading thing, then you can join our Elites program, which has Brandon's live trading room, Dave's options mentoring, and then as I program the schedule, have 2 of my weekly classes. So AMD still struggling to really go down. Again, it has been a strong bounce, but if we look at the reason why, let's take a look at the reason why we've chosen this as a level to sell off of. So if you look at the 4-hour chart here, 4-hour, which we'll see if it works, you can see that the market on AMD has bounced all the way back up to the 4 standard deviation level, that purple line. You can see we bounced right up and into it. So generally speaking, this could be a level where the market finally retraces a little bit off that high. KXIN not looking so hot right now. Kind of looks like it's trying to drop some more. I mean, when you're saying AMD should bounce at a 160.70, I mean, I'm not. There's also the daily chart level. It's a little higher, but 116.70. I don't really know what's at 116.70 for right now myself. All right, nice little drop there from AMD. The question is, can we get, there we go. That's a good move down to that level. So I'm going to cover a good chunk on that and just hold a small little portion now. Yeah, that's from Arturo. That's another thing. When I say that I'm good, Brandon is better. So the guy that manages, well, really partner with me and works in our Elites program, he is a better trader than I am. You might be asking, why doesn't he run a YouTube channel? Why doesn't he do this? Because he himself doesn't like social media and doesn't want to do social media. But he likes working with me in boiler room trading, so he's someone I brought on years ago. He's better at trading than I am. I can safely say that. So that's why I always say, people, do highly consider the Elites Trading Program. You will learn what I do, what Dave does, and what Brandon does. And basically, a best way to kind of wrap up Brandon in a nutshell is what you see me doing here, I need a computerized algorithm to do it for me, so to speak. He can do that. He can see it manually, right? Like when I'm like, oh, AMD should pull back here, I can see that because it's on a computerized 4 standard deviation. He would be the one like, oh, I can just map that out and know that that's an algorithm level. Another way of saying it is the standard deviation. A lot of what we're doing here, we're trading with computers, okay? Most of the retail market is not looking at the same levels we are, or at least they're not looking at the markets the way we are, generally speaking, right? The way that a lot of what Brandon does and what I do is we're looking at markets from statistical side of things where computerized algorithms, high-frequency trading computers are most likely going to be entering the market. That being said, a lot of the levels that Brandon's mapping off, a lot of them are algorithmic levels that high-frequency trading companies and computers are probably taking a peek at. So yeah, Raphael, see so that's what I have to change is I don't want you guys to have to submit a form and then have me accept it. It's supposed to be you just submit a form and sign up and then you're good to go. So something's goofing up there. I will, if you guys are really interested, for those that are really interested in the elites, I will give you guys a coupon code. I can promise you probably only need to jump in for 1 week to see the value in it. Give me a second here. So do remember, when you join our elites program, you're going to get, I'll show you what's inside this really quickly. Okay, this is, when I say this shit is no joke, this is no joke. Like, if you're really serious and you want to be stuck trying to learn for months and months and months and months and months and months, this is your elites program. So this is from top to bottom. So like when you get in, we have chat room, large cap trading room, weekly classes, Dave's weekly classes, so on and so forth. All right, you go down this list. This is everything that's in the elites program. These are all videos. Hold on, let's just keep it going. There's so much stuff in here, you yourself won't even be able to complete it. It's so long. And that's also something we're working on. We're working on condensing all this material into an elites trading course. Right now, it's just a monthly subscription to a curriculum, weekly classes, and a trading room. This is still going. We're not done. Yeah, it's still going, folks. So when you think you know a lot about trading, just know there's a lot more to learn. And there's a little bit of futures in there. So that now you can see why we've been hard pressed to condense that and so on. So like I said, if you're really serious, believe me, it's not something you just jump in willy-nilly thinking it's going to be ho-hum diddly-dum. There's a ton of content, ton of information you're going to have to process. It's going to take time and so on and so forth. So I will post this link here. For those that are really, really crazy about it, there's a link to the elites. That'll give you 30% off. Right now, I don't have my weekly classes in there, but I will. It's just taking me time because I'm doing this whole new process, and there's just a lot of work behind the scenes for me right now. But sooner than later, I will also have 2 weekly classes into the elites program. And you guys are going to be learning what I'll be teaching in there, obviously what I already do, but you're also going to be learning about becoming a CMT. Not that you have to become one, but you're going to be learning the curriculums that I'm having to go through for my exams to become a certified market technician. So along the way of me going through these exams, you're also going to be learning what's taught in the exams to become a certified market technician. So that's where my teaching is going to come in on that side. You'll be learning the CMT, essentially, exams, which sound kind of boring, but it's just a bunch of trading material that's processed into like an exam format. But anyway, so that's what I'll be bringing to the table in the elites if you're interested. Okay. But then also I'll still be here every single day streaming the way that you guys are streaming. So it's not like I'm trading live in the elites. I'm just here doing this publicly and free for everyone. And then we have the elites trading room where Brandon does the live trading. And like I said before, he's definitely better than I am. I'm safe to say it. I still want to get to his level, but he's just good. That's just it. He's just good. That's it. So anyways, let's get back on track here. So it is 10:45. Let me check my scanners again here. So the live stream in the elites, it starts at 9 in the morning. It's got to be 9. Yeah. Yeah, it starts at 9 in the morning. So the Elites program or Elites trading room will start at 9 in the morning, and then that will go to about 11. So almost the same time I end here is the same time the Elites program would end there. The only time the Elites trading room ends soon is really if like the daily profit goal or the trades that were being done have executed and completed and there's like nothing more else to do. Sometimes it would end early. It would go longer if the plays are still intact, so on and so forth. Note, if you look at KXIN here, it's very interesting. You will see that it's rolled down back to that 270 target. So even though I'm not short and I didn't ride that full move, you will see that it did end up retracing back down to that 274 or whatnot. We said this down move could go to about 274. I think it can go lower, and the reason it can go lower is because we based before support. That's another thing that I can teach you right now, is that whenever you, like, for example, let's say this is support, 274. The bounce and everything would have been better if the market just went to 274 in the first place, as opposed to trying to hold a support here. By trying to hold a support here, you were trying to hold a support on what wasn't actually support, therefore creating a false bottom, therefore trapping a lot of long bias traders, therefore creating a big stop loss candle that cannot support the actual support. Because all the people buying here, if they would have just waited and bought here, they would be supporting here. Now all the people buying here are selling and bringing it down below that level. So that's something definitely to think about. There goes AMD swinging lower off our short play. Just remember that. Okay, still have a very, very tinkly small position in that, but it's working. But good down move there on AMD. I promise you guys, this is 100% pure luck. SPRT. I don't know if you were asking about that earlier, but yes, there was. So with the code that I just posted, the Elites becomes like $69 a month. There's a lot in there. SPRT. Okay, let's look. It's gonna go down. Well, it's bearish right now, ish, kind of. All right, so it just spiked up above the 1 dev mark. That's why you got the breakout. Okay, so what would be the price target then? You've already hit resistance. You are on resistance with SPRT. Or sorry, SPRT. You're on resistance. If you look at, geez, hiccups. That's no fun. Yeah, if we zoom in here on SPRT, you see how it's right. You see that green line right there at 746. That's pretty much exactly where the market topped today, right off the +2 dev mark. So let's go take a look at there. That's the other thing, Dylan. If you join into the Elites program, then obviously then you cut out time you would otherwise spend here with me. So it is a decision that you'd have to make. They start a little bit later than so you would be able to still get about an hour of me here before that room starts, and that's just something you're gonna have to weigh. But yeah, for SPRT, you hit resistance. It's supposed to be coming down. Other than that, pretty much done for the day on that one. If I become a CMT, I don't think it will be. I don't think I'll be put on TV. No, I don't. Yeah, no, don't have the popularity of Matt Kors or Trade. So I don't think I'm gonna get invited to Fox or anything like that. You signed up the other day and you're paying $107 monthly. Well, the reason you're paying $107, I would imagine you're not in the United States, so the reason it's at $107 will be from a VAT tax, because $107 is an odd number, so you got to be paying some sort of VAT tax. But you should be on the Discord. Direct message me on Discord with your email and everything, and I'll go in and adjust your account, because yeah, we did just launch a sale, and I'd hate to have you paying $107 after that. But anyways, direct message me on Discord. And then send me your email. We'll figure that out. Also, I don't know if you're on here, but there was a gentleman yesterday that was supposed to email me a TOS script for Thinkorswim. It never actually went to my email. So if you're here, send it tomorrow, because I'm going to be taking it off in 10 minutes. Discord doesn't work. Emailed you guys a few days ago. Okay, well, I'll check our email, but Discord should work. There's no reason Discord shouldn't work. If Discord isn't working, then it's most likely an issue on your end, unfortunately, which is annoying because it does happen quite frequently. Why, I don't know, but Discord every once in a while has issues. Again, I will post the link there. That is a link for a 30% discount, okay? We're going to stop talking about the leads and the discount and this and that because we only got about 9 minutes left. I want to make sure we take that time to focus on the market a little bit. Works. Wow, I'm really mad that I didn't see this earlier when you were mentioning it. Probably because I'm an idiot. Would have been a great short. So easy. But no. No. Yeah, nothing really for me to do with Works now. It's already overbought, hit resistance, pulling back. Now it's just going to be a little choppy little turd, not worth buying. More or less worth shorting, but still the short move already kind of took place, so it's a little bit more high risk to short, less profit potential. Probably just stay on standby with that guy. Oh, you're saying you're getting a password that doesn't match on Discord? Yeah, well, I'm assuming, well, if that's the case, then again, it's an issue. What? Cruise message deleted by the Google moderator team? Oh, really? Oh, really? So we have Google moderators in the chat room these days, huh? Well, if you guys are going to moderate our chat, how about you do it effectively? Make sure you guys get links to my products, my courses, to Discord, and make sure you moderate all those people to the correct areas, not just deleting messages. Okay, that'll be great, Google. Thanks. KXIN I don't really see as something that I want to continue trading. The only way I would continue trading KXIN at this point is if it gives you a regression or a mean break, which it probably won't. So again, the only way we can consider to be long bias KXIN at this point is when the market comes up and crosses through the price of $2.99, which most likely wouldn't happen today. It would probably happen tomorrow or so. Well, that'd be Monday. Okay. So anyways, so far things are cruising. Literally. What's the point of us putting moderators on YouTube if Google is already there behind the scenes in the shadows lurking? No. We don't. No. Golfing today? Actually, I think my brother texted me, and I think he was asking if I wanted to go golfing, which it would be kind of hard pressed to do today. I got a busy day, but you know, you can always procrastinate shit if golf's included. I mean, I could just go play the par 3 course. You know what? I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go play the par 3 course today. It's only like $15. Yeah. Par 3 course. Yeah, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, not like I'm trying to get you to follow me on Instagram. I hardly ever post to Instagram. But if you follow me on Instagram, then I'll post a couple videos of today's round, and you can check out the swing if you guys are interested. That'll be fun. By the way, Instagram I think is just Boiler Room Trading or the Boiler Room. I don't know. As you can see, I'm hardly on Instagram. I don't even know what my Instagram handle is. It is Boiler Room Trading. Literally, that's it. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. I know I'm just kind of like brain farting here. I really don't don't see a whole lot in this moment in time that's really worth doing anything with. Interesting. I'm a Wolverine. Wow, for your stepbrother to be on the PGA Tour for 3 years, I mean, even that's impressive. To compete in that game at that level, it's outstanding. Yeah, Google moderators, did you guys by chance tickle the like button? Just give a little gooch grab while you're at it. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. Mr. Craw, like, was your comment even bad? Like, why would... Who knows? You never know with this beast. All right, guys, I'm going to close out the stream for today. I'll be busy tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to close out the stream for today. Everybody have a good... Yeah, everybody have a good rest of your day. You know, I have to like go and actually play a full round to actually get my handicap legit. But I would say these days my handicap's probably a 9 to a 10. Anywhere from 11 to 9, I think, is where my handicap's at these days. I actually just broke 40 for the first time in my life on Wednesday. I shot a 39. I missed 2 birdie putts, so that sucks. So 3 shots over a perfect round almost. So that was cool. So, anyways, you guys have a great weekend. I will catch everybody back Monday morning, bright and early, 8 a.m. Make sure to share the stream, like the stream, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys back. Oh, wait, before you go, we got to get the likes up over 400. We're only at 387. That's 13 likes. Come on. Come on. Tickle it. Come on. Tickle. 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 Swipe, swipe. Left, right. Rippy, rippy. 395. Let's go! Okay. Everybody have a good night. I'll see you Monday morning. Where's my stream? Where'd that go? Bye-bye.